Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show. Real talk, big opinions, and fearless conversations. From the front lines of politics to the latest in pop culture. From breaking sports headlines to the stories that move the world. Nothing's off limits, and nobody's holding back. Arrington Gavin is here to break it down, build it up, and keep it all the way real. So turn it up, lean in, and let's get into it. This is the Arrington Gavin Show.
What is happening, family? Welcome to the Arrington Gavin Show, your go-to spot for sharp insights, bold opinions, and unfiltered takes on the biggest stories of the day, whether it's politics, sports, pop culture, or the latest buzz. Look, we're diving deep and keeping it real. So please do me a favor, kick back, stay informed, and get ready to join the conversation. Look, my friends, as I always do, I always bring great conversation as well as great guests to this program. And on today's show, I'm excited to have on Mr. Bernard Taylor. He is the Democratic candidate for Florida Congressional District 21. But before that, he's also a first responder in the state of Florida. He is a firefighter and paramedic, and I'm even more thrilled to have him on because I mentioned him before the program. I am the son of a retired firefighter, and my dad is currently teaching the next firefighter and surgeon rescue through local vocational school out here in my hometown. So very excited to have him on. And hopefully I can get some lessons too, just, kind of stay in shape in the gym. The man a little swole. I'm just saying, I try, I do a couple of push-ups here and there and stuff. I try to look good in the suit, yo. I say it all the time. I'm trying to look good in the suit. But no, I'm really excited to have him on. I follow this gentleman through his social media, and he has a large following. So obviously I'm not the only one. What he's saying is speaking truth to power, and is speaking volumes too. And we all know, your boy is, I love Florida. It's, I was actually there, for about a week. I was there about a week and a half during Thanksgiving time, had a wonderful time. But when it comes to Florida politics, it hurts. It hurts sometimes, it's just, Governor DeSantis? Well, Trump used to say, DeSantimonious, that guy, yeah. Ron he's interesting. He's interesting. Byron Donald, because he's now, making a run for Congress. I mean, not Congress, governor out there. And it's a lot. So when I hear about folks that are really, really, really wanting to help make a change in Florida, because I've always considered Florida more of obviously a red state, right? And it's the state of Mar-a-Lago and Trump, everything, and the right-wing media is starting to, relocate to the Florida, but you still got some great folks out there. You still got great folks like my guest, Mr. Bernard Taylor. So excited to have him on. And yeah, we're going to have a great convo, y'all. Before I bring him on, let's see here. I wanted to play a quick clip just to, give you a little taste again about our special guest. So hold tight as I pull that up for you guys.
ICE is offering a $45,000 signing bonus plus a $100,000 starting salary. A teacher in her 8th year with a master's degree will make $55,000. It was never true that we don't have enough money to pay teachers more. It was always intentional. Education has been intentionally defunded for decades because an educated populace is a threat to power. Read the books, do the work. They are absolutely terrified of education.
I mean, like I said, speaking truth to power. That was very informative. And it's the truth. It's the truth, because how many times we always hear, our elected officials saying, well, we don't have enough funds to do this of what we actually need. No, we don't have the funds for this. We don't have the funds for that. But yet they do have the funds. See, that's the thing. That's kind of like how the game is always played, y'all. And what we've noticing now is a lot of voters, residents, regardless of which state or area you're in, you're tired, you're sick and tired. And obviously, I mean, we see all the drama happening in Minneapolis, and we've spoken about it here on the program, and just all the heat coming from this administration out in Washington. It's a lot, man. It's a lot. And see, what happens on the federal level trickles down on the state level, trickles down on local level. So it's all it's affecting all of us, and it's affecting us our everyday life. So again, Bernard Taylor. He will be up shortly, y'all. But before we move forward, as always, I gotta thank you all for taking the time out of y'all busy schedule to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. I truly appreciate it. As you know, we are growing each and every day with we see growth in our subscribers, viewerships, and all that great stuff. Yeah, so I truly appreciate it. Y'all know how to support us simply by, for those who are watching us, and if you're new to the channel, do me a favor, like, subscribe, share with the friends, share with family. I truly appreciate it. Again, we want to keep the masses going. We want to keep growing great conversation. You know, we have a goal to hit 5,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. So please continue to help us. Let's help us get to that goal. Help us get to that goal. We want to continue to elevate meaningful conversation. Something that I think that we're missing out here is just, again, great conversation. I always say, because y'all know I'm an independent guy, I always say, if we all continue to just let's listen. Let's not try to always talk over each other, because at the end of the day, we agree on most things, right? We agree on most things. Now you have folks that just say, no, it's my way or that. And that's not the case, because at the end of the day, we got to work together for the greater good. Because at the end of the day, hey, you know, when you unite, that's a meaningful thing right there. But also for not just on YouTube, you can check us out on YouTube, but wherever you get your podcasts, whether that's iHeart, Spotify, Apple, where else? Oh, as well as on the radio airwaves. So our platforms, YouTube and podcasts, we drop new episodes Monday through Fridays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But when you are on one of our radio affiliates, like shout out to WBOK out in New Orleans, WBOK 1230 a.m., you can tune into the Arrington Gavin Show weeknights at 7 p.m. Central Time. And then we got to head over to the Metro Atlanta area to WDJY 99.1 FM Straight Talk, where you can chime into the conversation weeknights at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. In addition to watching us on YouTube, you can also check out past episodes of the Arrington Gavin Show on GOATverse TV. That's right, GOATverse TV. So if you want to check out those past episodes, all you have to do is just download the GOATverse TV app. It's available in the App Store, Google Play Store, Roku, as well as Amazon Fire TV. And I've mentioned before, y'all, we are growing each and every day. We are a grassroots program. We are growing each and every day. So I'm excited to announce that the Arrington Gavin Show has picked up a new affiliate, y'all. That's right. You can now be listening to the Arrington Gavin Show out in Las Vegas, my friends, out in Las Vegas, KSHP, all right, KSHP 1400 AM, as well as 107.1 FM, Fridays, weekly, okay, Fridays at 8 p.m., all right? So I'm very excited that we will be heading to Las Vegas with this show, and I'm thrilled. Again, it's an honor to continue to grow this program. I remember when I first, we started as a podcast. I always say we're a podcast first and, radio show second. When we first started, we started with maybe weekly 25, 30 minutes. And one thing I've realized, your boy like to talk. And so I'm like, I need more than just 30 minutes. I need more than just one day talking with my friends, talking with you all. I need more days. I need more days. So yeah, I'm just excited to continue to spread the word out. We are growing, as I mentioned. Shout out to KSHP again, 1400 AM and 107.1 FM out in Las Vegas. So starting March 6th, you will be able to listen to the Arrington Gavin Show Fridays at 8 p.m. Over there. So yeah, we're hype, y'all. We're hype. All right, so we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll bring on our special guest, Mr. Bernard Taylor, again, Democratic candidate for Florida's Congressional District 21. So, my friends, do not go anywhere. You're listening to the Arrington Gavin Show. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Every man has a story to tell. Your ambitions, your achievements, your legacy. Your suit should reflect that story, crafted precisely, designed for impact, and tailored exclusively for you. We work with only the finest fabrics, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends from world-renowned mills in Italy, the UK, and India. These fabrics are the foundation of custom suits that exude elegance and stand the test of time. But a suit isn't just about fabric, it's about fit, and it's about confidence, and it all starts with you. When you work with me, you'll receive a personalized consultation, whether in person or over Zoom. Together, we'll explore your vision and discuss your needs, and we're going to bring your ideas to life. My journey as a designer includes apprenticing under New York-based designer Clavon Leonard, showcasing collections at New York Fashion Week, Algeria Fashion Week, and the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. That experience is what we bring to every suit we create, from weddings to corporate events and everything in between. We specialize in crafting one-of-a-kind suits for life's most significant moments. Dapper Luke has been recognized as one of Baltimore's best menswear in 2023, and I was honored to be one of the 10 designers selected for the prestigious Baltimore Met Gala. With over 900 satisfied clients, we proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore, bringing world-class designs to these incredible communities. We don't just make suits, we craft confidence. Your suit will fit your body, your style, and it will tell your story. Book your free online personal consultation today. Visit www.dapperluke.com.
What's up, y'all? Welcome to
And we still in traffic.
I don't look familiar, do I? Not in this seat.
Hey, what's that you listening to?
Here to host today.
Hey, turn it up.
With me?
Yeah, this that new GoatVerse app. I got you.
So y'all want to know where the goats are? They're off on the sidelines.
Looking for fresh, relevant content wherever you go?
What was the name of that he said?
Introducing GoatVerse TV.
GoatVerse, that's what it's called.
The free streaming app that brings you the best podcasts, current events, and thought-provoking opinions all in one place. Download it now from the Apple Store or Play Store. In GOATs, we trust.
6'10", number 1 pick, 16 seasons, College Player of the Year, All-Rookie Standout. Joe Smith built a career on grit, consistency, and showing up.
Greatness isn't just about the game. It's about how you show up every day. Rugged Evolution now offers body care products for every man, because not every man wears a beard, but every man deserves care. Greatness doesn't fade.
It evolved. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Every beard deserves to be legendary, and every man deserves care.
All right, my friends, welcome back to the show. As I mentioned, I have a special guest on, Mr. Bernard Taylor. He's running for Florida Congress, representing the 21st District. He is the Democratic candidate. He's hoping to unseat the current Congressman Brian Mast. Let me just give y'all a little bit of a soundbite of who the current gentleman, Mr. Brian Mast, the seat that he is I don't know. I mean, he got some competition, y'all. I'm just saying. I spoke a little bit with Mr. Taylor, man. So listen to Brian Mast, though. He is the current sitting congressman out in Florida representing the 21st District. Listen to this.
100 people who were killed?
I'm very proud of that as well.
Do you think it's the U.S. right to just go in and take out other heads of state?
I couldn't be more proud of our work to go out and take out Maduro, just snatch him. We could have snatched the life out of him, but we chose to snatch him up and take him into New York where he's going to stand trial. Really just incredible demonstration of the capabilities that only the United States
killed in the process, the 100 people who were killed?
I'm very proud of that as well.
You're proud of that? Proud of killing 100 people to take out a foreign head of state?
Y'all, I mean, hey, he's proud of taking out innocent lives. That's what, because you heard it. That wasn't no AI. That was a legit question. The lady even had to ask again. She's like, and she just said, Y'all, that's currently who's in the seat right now. So without further ado, I know y'all probably say, okay, where's Mr. Bernard Taylor? All right, he's waiting patiently backstage. So look, I'm going to bring on our special guest, Mr. Bernard Taylor. He is the Democratic candidate for the Florida Congress District 21. Mr. Taylor, boss man, what's going on with you? Thank you so much for being here and taking the time out your busy schedule.
Oh, thank you for having me, man. Appreciate you.
Awesome. Look, for those who again, you're new to the show, if you don't mind just giving us a little background about yourself.
Absolutely. For you the guys that don't know, my name is Bernard Taylor. I am a 4th generation Floridian. Florida is my home. Grew up here, born and raised. Am currently a firefighter, paramedic in the area where I'm looking to represent as a congressman. A little bit about me, man. Very simple, very humble guy. Come from very humble beginnings. I see the state of the people here in my district, the people who I grew up with, my family and friends here in the area, the people I serve in the area, as far as the people who I respond to these 911 calls. And I see living conditions. I see people struggling. I see people just wanting to get by, and it just seems like help is not ever going to come. So I got tired of sitting on the sidelines, and I decided, throw my hat in the ring and see if I could be the person that brings change.
I want to ask, I mentioned that, you even mentioned it here too. I mean, you are, you serve as a first responder in the state of Florida, and, District 21 out there in Florida as well. Has that helped impact the decision more to run for office? Because this is, if I might ask, is this the first basically political position that you have, that you will be serving if elected?
Yeah, so I fully love what I do as a firefighter. I don't plan on stopping, even if God willing I do win this election. I still plan on being on the back of that ambulance and being on the fire truck serving my community, because again, these are the people that need me the most. And you get frustrated when legislation prevents people from having primary health care, and they have to use the emergency room as their primary care position. You go to some of these homes and you see how people are living, and it's sad, it's heartbreaking when you know that certain people really work extremely hard just to have enough food to be poor. And it's at a certain point in time, it stops being about numbers on a piece of paper and statistics that our current leaders look at us as. I don't get that luxury, unfortunately. I see these people, I see these quote unquote numbers on a piece of paper every time I go to work, and it gets harder and harder each day to turn a blind eye to some of the things that you see. So we need real leadership. We need real people in office that actually care about us down here. And I know me, with my public service background and just who I am as a person and how I was raised, I believe that person to have that empathy, that person to put people first. I don't think there's no better person besides myself.
And, I agree with you on that, because one thing that I've noticed, especially speaking with, because I've had the opportunity to speak with, folks currently serving or running to serve on a local level, state level, even federal level. And when I speak with voters, right, I try to speak in different groups, different ages, different political backgrounds. I'm always, curious, asking, okay, what is one thing that you are, is a key need that you are looking at a candidate? And they always say they feel as though like these elected officials, they're not relatable. They're not relatable. And they are, we kind of see a lot of career politicians that has been in office for quite some time, continuing to repeat the same old, yet the public is never seeing results. And like you mentioned, we're in a climate now where, folks are struggling to live an honest, just a fair life, just fair pay, afford groceries. We're in some troubling times right now. A lot of certain government funding has been cut. We see it in our HBCUs. We see it in mostly minority neighborhoods. We're literally seeing PBS, losing funding. Like, who would have thought? Sesame Street, Big Bird. Well, they're not on anymore, but still, I mean, I grew up when I was a kid. Look, I was always watching PBS. Arthur, Franklin, come on now. I'm taking y'all back with the cartoons. Like, I never would assume that we're in a time where that's getting, taken away. So now you're going in rural areas are losing some form of like, hey, how do we stay in the know? How do we stay up to speed with stuff? So I say all that to say, I totally understand where you're coming from in that. And I think it is important, the fact that being that you are, a public servant, you're involved in the community. Like you are there that every, on a regular basis, you are in the community where there's folks that do serve, that are probably rarely in the community. You know what I mean? That, Congress is a big deal. I want to ask why Congress? Because again, you're new to the world of politics. I mean, I'm not saying like you never, understood it, but as far as running for office, a lot of folks will say, okay, why not get your feet wet on a local level and then maybe, work your way up to that federal level. But you said, hey, look, I'm going straight for Congress. So why the huge pivot, or why the huge shift?
Well, I'm a very pragmatic person. I try to look at things in a very realistic fashion. The section of Florida that I live in, it is extremely red in certain areas. So all the local elections and local places where you can run are extremely gerrymandered, and it is extremely hard to outbeat the gerrymander here where I live. Also, again, we live in Florida, where Florida has been under Republican leadership going on 30 years now. So to even win a seat, even if I was the one as the opposite party, I would be fighting in a minority in my state, because it's just not enough people on the Democratic side to actually affect the state house in any meaningful way. When you look at the numbers, it's just not there. We're trying to get a Democratic governor right now. Like I say, we've been at this for 30 years. So I looked at, what would be the best course of action to actually win a seat and affect the most change from my area. And when I looked at the numbers and I looked at, what it would take to win a congressional seat, and I looked at some of the people who have won congressional seats. Now, I'm not the smartest person in the world, but if some of these people that we
got something in common. We got something in common, Bernard.
Yeah. So I mean, if some of these people that they let in the House of Representatives, if they can do it, I think my career as a public servant and my experience, being in the community, doing community volunteer work and activism, I think that more than qualifies me to throw my name in that.
Hey, you telling the truth, man. Especially coming out of Florida. I ain't trying to talk about your state. I ain't trying to talk about your state, Bernard. But I kind of backtrack. Some interesting folks who has served the state of Florida. I've already mentioned your current governor. Now you got Byron Donald running for governor. You had a former congressman in the past by the name of Matt Gaetz, who's now has his own news show now. He's a part of press. He's a part of press now. He in the press room now. God help us all. But it's a number of folks I can name. But you are right, as well as Florida being a very, very red state. I mean, I can't, I lose track of how many stories I've shared on this program where you have Florida elected officials, state elected officials that have switch parties from Democrat to Republican. I mean, I lose track of fingers sometimes. I'm like, wow, what is with all the party switching? So, and it's always to mostly I've seen moving on to the right. And for me, where and I always try to understand different states, because one of my good friends has shared this point, which made a lot of sense. State politics, the state parties are always going to be different than your parties in Washington. So your Democratic Party in the state of Florida ain't the Democratic Party in the in Washington, or vice versa. So it's always gonna be different. That being said, being that it's so competitive, how has the campaign been so far? What are some not trying to give all your secrets, but what are some ways that you are continuing to spread the word about yourself, your issues, which we're going to talk about the issues that you're campaigning on, but how has that process been so far?
I mean, it's not really a secret, right? It's just going out here and doing the work, being myself. The best things about running this grassroots campaign like I am, there are no consultants. There's nobody telling me how to be who I've been my 37 years here on this earth. It is literally going out here and being myself, man, and explaining to people who I am and what I'm trying to do, and having conversations with a lot of people, and being willing to have conversations with people and listen to all different types of people, no matter your age, race, all different backgrounds, man. And that's another reason why, I'm thankful for my career, because it gave me the skills and the people skills to be able to do that, to have those conversations, to be able to relate to so many different demographics. And, my career also allows me to open doors to places that most people wouldn't necessarily want to hear a conversation from someone. I'm not approaching people in a 3-piece suit. I come out and I got my Dickies on and my little polo shirt, because that's what I'm used to wearing on the thing. So it's just like, I'm more relatable, and it's more like having a conversation with a coworker or a friend, as opposed to someone in a suit who might possibly be looking down at me. You feel me? So it's literally just getting out here, being myself, having conversations with people, letting them know it's not about voting for a party, because voting for parties are the reason why we got here. Now, we don't necessarily look at the candidate. We just look at who has what letter by their name, and you just blindly go after that. And I've been educating people here in my district to start voting for people and actually, looking at these people who you're going to put in the office, seeing what their character is, seeing, some of the things that they've been saying over the years, seeing their voting records, seeing their financial records. Like, all these things are public. It's up to us to become more informed voters. It's up to us to take our decision on who to vote for much more seriously than we have taken it thus far, because not doing so has gotten us in the position that we are now.
You speaking true. I'm telling you, speaking to the choir, because elections has consequences, and I share all the time on this program. The importance of educating yourself on. I mean, again, you said it best. Reading the track record. Let's look at exactly who we're voting for, because it's easy to follow into the same exact pattern of, well, this guy's been in office for so long, he must be doing something good, so let me just put his name. Or they just look to see what letter. They could care less of. They might not even know who the person looks like. It's like, oh, that's a D, or that's a that's Republican. Let me just go ahead and cast my vote, keep it moving. And that kind of mindset does lead to worser things, because then you have folks that are always complaining. Because one thing I'm passionate about is continuing to grow the numbers of voting turnout. That's one thing that I think is a big deal happening all across the nation is voting turnout. It's not just young people. I know folks that are well older age that just like, I don't care to cast my vote because it's the same old. They don't care about me, so why even bother? But again, I always say, well, if you have an issue or a complaint that you always bring up, man, I'm telling you, your vote is your power. Your vote, there's so much power in a vote. And if you continue to have the mindset of, well, it's nothing, then I'm trying to watch my tongue. I'm getting better at it, Bernard. I'm trying to get better, but crap's gonna hit the fan in a sense, right? And so you definitely want to do your homework on these elected officials. And look, I've said it too, even those that switch parties, because I'm thinking more. I keep on thinking of folks out in your state. You have a gentleman, a former Republican congressman, who is running now as a Democrat in your state. And so again, I mean, hey, he has been quite vocal on his how frustrated the party he previously served is, and that's why he's running. But people still have to read the track record. I mean, that's just the big thing there. I think my next question I want to ask you, Bernard, is what has been speaking with the public, speaking with residents in your district, what has been some common issues that they have brought to your table before you start presenting, hey, the issues that you are campaigning on? What has been some of the issues that they have addressed you about?
Well, everybody's first complaint is basically our current congressman doesn't do anything for us. he's been in office for 10 years and we ain't got nothing to point to that he's done specifically for this district. And it's unfortunate because if I was in a job for 10 years and I didn't perform my job to the best of my ability, I'd be fired. So Congress is the only place in the world you can not do your job and still keep getting promotions. It's crazy. But once you get past that, it's Florida, man. Everybody sees the cost of living here. We're probably one of the highest, definitely in the top 3 in terms of cost of living over the past 5 years, between our homeowners insurance crisis, between property taxes continuing to rise, between all the people moving here, buying up homes, between the hedge funds and corporations buying up all the property, trying to turn us all into renters. It is an extremely dire situation in terms of our cost of living. I mean, if you look at the numbers, young people don't see a future in this state, and they're leaving this state in droves. They're the highest demographic leaving this state because they just don't see a future here. The people who are moving to this state, because I know our current governor loves to talk about people who are coming to this state. When you look at the people who are actually coming to this state, it's established people. It's the people who are already gotten their money. It's older people. It's these people that can afford to come in and buy up these homes cash and not have to worry about some of these things. Our state is not built right now for a young person that's trying to build something. Our state is built for people who are already established to come here and take advantage. So I want to bring it back to the Florida that I knew growing up in the 90s, the Florida that presented a lot of opportunity that a lot of people loved living in. You know, I love my state. It's crazy. It's a lot of crazy stuff that goes on. We get a lot of bad rap because of some of the representation of the people that come here. But for the most part, we're just like any other down south place, even though they don't like to consider Florida the South. We're very nice, man. We're hardworking. We just want to be able to live, enjoy our lives, and enjoy our families. And right now, we just don't have that with this affordability crisis that we're facing here. And then our healthcare, again, with all those older people coming down here, obviously healthcare is extremely important to them. And you know, with this legislation that is passed and the subsidies expiring from Obamacare, a lot of people are going without insurance right now, and it puts a strain on not only my career, but also the nurses in the hospitals, because again, like we talked about earlier, you have people that can no longer afford insurance, so they use the emergency room as their primary care physician, which, you know, we're already dealing with a nursing shortage and an EMS shortage around here. So a system that was already strained is being further strained by legislation from some people in a building, you know, thousands of miles away that don't necessarily care about the people down here as long as their pockets and their donors are happy, which is unfortunate because, again, that is the current state of politics that we have allowed to be cultivated over these years. And this is our opportunity to change the trajectory of what we want politics to be. And it starts with candidates like myself.
Wow. Well, amen to that. Well, no, I look, as much as I always talk about the leadership in your state. Look, I still attend the state quite frequently. You know, being in Virginia right now, you know, it's bone chilling cold. Florida's a little nicer. Y'all got good, you know, good sunshine, the weather's good, great restaurants. Y'all got nice things over there. So I always like to, you know, I'll take a trip from time to time over in Florida. So it's very a beautiful state. Y'all can have your gators now. Y'all can have your gators, because see, we don't have that in Virginia. Y'all can have y'all gators. I'm over here trying to have a nice walk with my wife, and I see the signs that said beware. I'm like, you know what? Maybe how about we stay inside? You know what I mean? Like, maybe not. Maybe this walk is not for us right now. But in addition, so you mentioned healthcare, you mentioned affordability. Now, how about education in your district? How is the educate any issues that you are hoping to improve that's involving education?
Yes, absolutely. I'm fortunate enough, one of the counties in my district was rated an A district over the past year. So they're doing very well in terms of improving, you know, their educational standards. But unfortunately, that's not a statewide thing, and that's not a district-wide thing for me in terms of all the counties here in my district. Florida is one of those states that has school choice program. And right now, the school choice program is not a real choice. And what I mean by that is the voucher programs, these schools that do offer school choice, that accept these vouchers, these schools are not even required to teach your kids how to read. They can get your kid in the classroom, they can accept the voucher, and after 3 days, if they feel like, you know, your kid doesn't know how to read, they can kick that kid out of that school and keep the money from that voucher.
Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt you, Bernard. Can you repeat that one more time? Because that's the first time I'm hearing something like that. Can you please repeat that for our audience?
Yeah, so with school choice program, especially here in Florida, and if you got a school choice program, if your state is a school choice state, this is most likely the same thing. But the school choice program in schools, they're not required to be obligated by the state public school standards or even the federal public school standards. So they're not obligated by those standards, but they're still receiving tax dollar money via those vouchers. Because they're not held to those standards, again, they're not required to teach your kid how to read. They can accept your kid into their school, take that voucher, and a week later decide they don't want to teach him because he's not where he needs to be, to no fault of his own. And they will put him back in the public school system at the same time, keeping that $8,500 voucher that, you know, funded his school. So I'm not too not too fond of the school choice program. I understand
Mm-hmm.
why it was in place. I understand why people do favor it. But if you're going to have programs like that for school choice, I think those schools should also be held to the same standard as the public schools standard of the state and of the federal government. And then on top of that, if your school accepts a voucher, you can't also charge tuition on top of that. Because another thing that these people do is these kids that go to these private schools, they'll take that voucher money to take some money off the tuition. So basically, our tax dollars are subsidizing these rich kids to go to their private schools because they could take the $8,500 voucher and use it as a, to take some of the money off the tuition for the parents. So, and again, it's our state ain't been prioritizing education since No Child Left Behind, man. We've been going backwards ever since, and it's crazy to me that we are the third largest state in this whole entire country, and our teachers have the lowest salary in the entire country. We're ranked 50th in terms of teacher pay. So not only do we not educate the kids, we can't find educators because who wants to work for that salary? So our teacher turnover is extremely high. So there's definitely have to be change in terms of at least getting our teachers to the top 15% of the country. And then also, again, revamping our public school education system and our school choice programs to make sure that everybody is following the same standards.
Wow. It leads me to the video that you had posted on your platform, because you had mentioned we're continuing to fight to basically give more to our educators. And they say, quote unquote, that there's nothing in the fund. We don't have the funds to do that. But yet you have the funds to fund right now a group that has been killing U.S. citizens in one state. I mean, I try to avoid discussing it, but I mean, look, you can't walk away from the discussion. What has been your thoughts, Bernard, on the protests happening in Minneapolis? The whole, the ICE has been going on in really, blue states and blue cities. What is your take on that? Because that is a big this topic that's going around in our digital spaces and airwaves and news platforms as well. What has been your just, if you don't mind sharing your take on what's been happening lately?
There's nothing that makes me more upset than somebody telling me I didn't see what I saw, and then just straight up trying to gaslight me as if I didn't see what I saw. Somebody, again, coming from a service background, knowing that any type of organization, we all have protocols and policies that we have to follow. And no, I've never been in the law enforcement aspect of this business, but I have a lot of friends who are, and I can't find nobody to validate that any policies have been followed or any type of de-escalation techniques have been followed. And some of the things and videos that we've seen over the past year now is truly heartbreaking. Even here in my own district, we had a week where ICE was here rounding people up, and I was out there helping protest and kind of standing ground with some of the people in the community. And it's heartbreaking when you got people not even want to take their kids to school because they're afraid of not being there for their kids when they get back home. We got programs where helping people get groceries. We take them to the homes because they're afraid to go to the grocery store because they might get picked up. So just seeing where we're at in terms of I ain't gonna say I never thought, because I read a lot and I know history, and I know a lot of times if we don't pay attention to the things, they always come back around in one way, shape, or form. It just again, it's truly baffling to me that they literally, like, we have video now and they still tell us we're not seeing what we're seeing.
Not a video, videos, different angles.
Like you can get a POV, you can get a back angle, you get a side angle, you get a front angle, and it's still like, nah, you didn't see what you just saw. So I hate that, anytime there's change in any type of movement over history, someone always has to lose their life.
Yeah.
Whether that was, Malcolm back in the day, whether it was Martin back in the day, whether it was Huey Newton, and all these different people, that it always takes somebody losing their life for things to change. And I hope that no more life has to be lost and change starts to turn around. We've seen some of the rhetoric from this administration start to tone down a little bit. I listened to Tom Homan a little bit earlier today He sounded a little bit, not a little bit. He sounded a lot different than he normally does. Normally, normally he has a lot of bluster and bravado and all those different things, and he sounds very contrite and just matter of fact today. So I'm hoping that it's a shift in the tide, and we can get to where we can do better, because I'm not gonna be one of those ones that says that we don't have to have, that we don't need enforcement, because we've always had immigration enforcement. We've seen different presidents deport people. It's all about being humane. We should never lose our humanity. That's when we start to lose our humanity, that's when things get out of control. And there's no reason why we should have images of kids being used as bait to bring their parents out the house. And I speak for me personally. I had a situation a couple months back where a young lady, her dad was taken, and we responded to her attempting to take her life. Thank God we got there in time, and the wounds were superficial, so they weren't that deep. But just to the simple fact that you're 15 years old, and you just see your dad get taken away, and your mom is sick, and the dad is the only caregiver in the home, and you just feel like as a 15-year-old, like there's no more life to live. It's just crazy, man. It's crazy times we're living in.
It really is, Bernard. Look, I'm enjoying this conversation. Look, we're going to take a quick break. Y'all, you're listening to the Arrington Gavin show right now. I'm joining with Democratic candidate for Florida Congressional District 21, Mr. Bernard Taylor. Y'all do not go anywhere. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Let me tell you something that most people get wrong about suits. A suit isn't just about you wearing it. It's how you show the world who you are. It's your handshake before you say a word, your presence when you step into any room. That's why we design statements at Dapper Luke. We don't just make suits. We'll start with the fabrics that tell your story, luxurious wools, silk, linen, and blends sourced from the finest mills in Italy, the UK, and India. Then we'll combine that with your vision, your personality, and your style. Every detail is tailored to you, from the fit to the finish. Whether for your wedding, a gala, the boardroom, we specialize in creating custom suits that are unique, just like the men who wear them. We spent years perfecting this craft, apprenticing under designers in New York and showcasing collections in New York and for Baltimore Fashion Week. None of that matters as much as seeing the look on your face when you try on your custom suit. Over 900 clients have already trusted us to deliver the best custom suits. They trust me to deliver the confidence. We proudly serve Virginia Beach and Baltimore and would be honored to bring your vision to life next. Let's create something unforgettable. Book your free consultation today at www.dapperluke.com.
Jazeera Learning Institute, LLC, is a hybrid learning center that strives to educate adults and children in all fields. During the day, we offer programs that are focused on developing students from pre-K to 12th grade, which includes tutoring, homeschool co-op, an after-school program, SAT, ACT prep, and many more engaging academic programs. Our adult education programs include workforce trainings, GED prep, life coaching, various seminars, and many more. Our vision is to train and educate in a positive way that will lead to a positive change in the world, one person at a time. For more information, visit us online at jazeranlearninginstitute.com or call us at 757-208-7407.
Become a man of distinction with Rugged Evolution Beard Care. Order our scented beard oils and beard balms to help you maintain and grow the perfect beard. Order today. Try our men's care products like the full body exfoliating cleansing bars, body wash, smooth stash, and more. Log on to our website or download our app to place your orders. Rugged Evolution Beard Care. We're your luxury but affordable men's care line. And remember,
rugged is the new smooth.
All right, my friends, welcome back. Welcome back to the Arrington Gavin show. I'm your guy, Arrington Gavin. Joining me is Mr. Bernard Taylor, again, Democratic candidate for Congress, Florida Congressional District 21. All right, Bernard, look, I want to ask you because you mentioned about the sad moment where you had to encounter a young lady who was was attempting to take her life after her father was taken from her. That being said, we know that mental health is a growing concern nationwide. What solutions do you believe can make the greatest impact at the federal level to help bring down that mental health number?
Actually, investing in the programs that we're supposed to invest in. We've seen a concerted effort to defund all mental health programs over the past year from this federal government as a means of getting rid of quote unquote fraud and waste. Whether that's mental health care programs for the lay citizens or mental health programs even for our veterans. The number of different programs for our veterans and the funding that they have had to endure and the cuts that they have had to endure over the past year is extremely crazy. And whether it's the suicide hotline that has lost funding, whether it's the VA that has lost funding. Like, we say we care about these people that serve us and risk their lives for us, and at the same time, every chance we get, we're taking money for them. And it's the same with our communities every day. You have health clinics and hotlines and different services that have been cut because of funding. But anytime there's a mass shooting or whatever, we have people talking about it's mental health. Well, maybe if you put some money into the mental health aspect, you know what I'm saying? You can't tell me one thing and then you're not, providing a solution for it. So you can't tell me it's not one thing. We just gotta, we gotta help people with their mental health and then turn around and take away legislation and cut funding for those things. So again, speaking from experience, man, between the call I had with the young lady, between the number of coworkers over the years that I've lost due to mental health issues, and unfortunately, we've had, and just in my short career alone, I've only been doing this almost 6 years. I've known 4 coworkers personally who have taken their own lives over the course of my career, just because, not being able to deal with certain things. So it's extremely important that we invest in these programs. And again, it's all about putting people first, and that's especially when it comes to our mental health.
Again, and you said it right there, putting people first. You mentioned about really the things that you are fighting for. It's not a partisan issue. This is a humane issue. This is people over politics. Sadly, and I played the clip earlier for our listeners here. Your current congressman showing absolutely no remorse, no humane about the fact that it was innocent lives being taken. It's like, oh no, we did good. I wish we would have did this. I wish we did. I'm like, are you kidding me? I want to ask you, being a resident of District 21, what has, in your mind, what has your current congressman done in the 10 years?
He prides himself on being a clean water guy. So anytime it's time to run for our election, it's time to talk about the water again, because our district is it's a coastal district. We're right on the water. So we have our intercoastal, we have the ocean, and we have Lake Okeechobee, which funnels down through the canals into our district here. Lake Okeechobee was actually voted the dirtiest lake in America this past year. Yeah. And again, my current congressman is quote unquote Mr. Environment, but he has a record that does not reflect. The one piece of legislation he's actually ever gotten passed that affects the environment had to do with the Army Corps of Engineers coming down and kind of messing with the water levels to kind of mitigate some of the pollution that was coming down from the lake down here into our areas. And we're still having the same toxic algae blooms. We're still having the same blue-green algae blooms. We're still having the same problems with our waterways that we've had now for 10 years. So again, like we talked about earlier, you had 10 years to try to fix this problem. This was your thing, the one thing that was supposed to be your thing, and it hasn't even been done. You know what I'm saying? So
10 years.
And that specifically was supposed to be something for this district, because again, the water is our economy, whether that's, fishermen. We have a lot of people that do boat tours. All these different things impact our waterways. And if we don't take care of them, it's extremely detrimental to our economy here in my district. So it's up to me. It's up to people like myself who actually want to do things to clean up the water and clean the environment, and aren't bought out by the developers and the real estate lobby and the big lobby down here in Florida, like all these different people who don't necessarily want the problem to be fixed because it messes with their bottom line. So my current congressman, and a lot of Congress people all over Florida, because again, this is an entire state. Most of our Congress people are Republicans. They don't really want to fix the problem because that will piss off the donors. So they need to kind of mitigate the problems, to kind of mitigate the damage that is getting done, as opposed to actually fixing it. So it's like if you got a leak in your pipe, you just put a bucket under there to stop the leak and catch the water, but eventually the water is going to overflow. Why don't you just fix the pipe? Well, if I fix the pipe, then but the man gonna get upstairs, he gonna be mad at me, he gonna give me no more money, so we just gonna leave this bucket right here. I was like, all right, so that's
that is hilarious. That is hilarious, but that's spot on. No, that is spot on. What I have maybe I might have time for maybe like two quick questions. First question is, how is the conversation that you're having with those Republican voters? That how do you help sway them? Because look, we are seeing a number of Republican voters that are a bit tired of the current system in Washington and in the state of Florida. So how are those conversations going?
They more mad at him than the Democrats here. That's the funny part. It's like they more upset. They be hot when I be having conversations with them. But again, it's just like that tribal mentality. It's like, man, I don't like what he's doing, but just vote for a Democrat, man. And that's when, again, you just like, look, I'm not asking you to vote for the Democratic Party. I'm asking you to vote for me. And then a lot of people, I won't even tell them what I'm running for. We just have conversations and they'll be like, are you sure you're a Democrat? I'm like, bro, I'm just a good person. it's you stop trying to associate people with these labels, man, and actually get to know people and where they stand. It was so funny the other day. Somebody got into my little comments on my Facebook page, and they was like, "Oh, you're a Democrat. You believe in this, and I was just like, "All right, brother. You have a good day." He's like, "Wait, you're not gonna have a conversation?" I was like, "Well, you done already established what you think I believe in already. So why are we gonna have a conversation?" When an adult would have a conversation with me, when an adult would have started out with, "Hey, man, can I ask you a question?"
Exactly.
Just labeling me something without even giving me a chance to explain myself. So you've already established that you're not adult enough to have this conversation. So you have a good day, sir. And
that was a great thing. And not trying to get sidetracked, because I'm kind of rushing with time, but I heard a pastor not too long ago made a perfect, because he was kind of a prominent pastor, but he just said, responding to comments, it's at your piece. People that need to realize how expensive your piece is, because the thing is, when you respond, you're costing that you cost your piece. You cost peace when you respond to somebody, and it's like, no, that my piece is too expensive. So I will say, Bernard, your piece is very expensive. So I'm glad you didn't respond to that, because that's what they always want you to do. They want you to respond and get you off your rocker. Last question I want to ask is, how would you ensure transparency and accountability in your role as a member of Congress, to if elected?
I'll just keep myself accessible, man. Just continue doing the things that I've been doing now. I'll respond to the people, my messages. I respond to comments that are, worthy of responding to. I do a lot of lives. I do a lot of being in the community. I want to make sure I'm having town halls as much as possible. So I'm always engaging with my community, letting them know, like, hey, this is what's coming down the pike. This is how I'm thinking. What do you guys think? How should I vote? It's because it's not a vote. It's not my vote. I think that's what a lot of people get misconstrued about this thing. We are representatives of population between 750 and 850,000 people. Wow. So it's not just my vote. You're voting for about almost a million people. So how could you go vote for something without getting input from those almost 1 million?
Now, is that in your district, or are you talking about for the state?
That's everywhere. Every representative, that's how they break it down. You get 750,000, 850,000 in that range to make up a congressional district. So each one of the 435 representatives we have, one vote represents almost 800,000 people.
Wow.
So how could you be out here making decisions for that many people and not be transparent with them and not be open enough to have conversations with them? You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Last question. This is a great way to end this convo. Why should people come voting day vote for Bernard Taylor to represent their district, District 21. Why should folks vote for you?
Folks should vote for me on a simple fact. Again, I'm someone who always going to put the people first. You know, every 3 days of my life right now in my district, I put my life on the line for the people here in my district. Every 3 days, it could be a day that my wife no longer has a husband. It could be a day that my kids no longer have a father. And I do all of that in service to the people in my community to make sure that they're safe, to make sure they have somebody that they can call on in times of emergency. And I want to make sure I take that same mentality up to Washington. I want to be someone, again, that does. I'm doing this for the people, man. I'm not doing this for myself. I'm not doing this for power. I'm not doing this for money. I am perfectly content in my life. I am very happy. I got my wife. I got my children. I got my Xbox. I'm very, very happy, bro.
I know that's right. Not the Xbox. He said, "Look, I'm good.
I'm good, man. I can be sitting here and play this thing to Armageddon. I'm good to go, man." But it's too many people around me that are not in good spaces. There's too many people around me that aren't, living a good life. And I want to do everything I can to make sure that I can put myself in a position to help them live as good a life as they can.
Man, Bernard, look, I truly, truly enjoyed this conversation. Please don't be a stranger. For those who are watching right now, put up your website for folks can continue to read up more on your platform. Before I talk a little more about that, being a Florida guy, I do have to ask: did you watch the recent national game? Did you watch the national tie between?
Right, you must be don't want me to come back no more.
Dang, man, I'm sorry.
Like that is crazy. That's a crazy way to end.
I'm
this
sorry.
interview,
I was look. Y'all had first of all, even though y'all did come victorious, it was a big win for Florida. I feel as though it was a big win for Florida with the U, because it was like I was always told the U is where it's at. The U is, and it's truly. So I just had to ask, man. I'm sorry.
That's not what you do, man. That's not how you end the interview, bro.
That's not how you end it.
That's not how you get repeat guests.
Damn. Well,
that is crazy, man. How did you feel about it? How you think I felt, man? I was cussing for the whole 24 hours after that game. How you throw a game in the interception? You had one job, bro.
My bad, man. I had to ask, man. You the first Florida guy I spoke to since I said maybe I need to make smarter decisions for 2026, y'all. Because by the way,
I knew it was bad when I saw Agent Orange in the press box. I was like, golly, between him and Marco Rubio and everybody deciding to have a presence in Miami, I was like, Lord, this ain't gonna be good.
That man, look, he would have probably held the football different, weird, like the way he held out Bible. I know football. I know a lot of great football. Yes, I used to be a Q halfback. Yeah, they don't
exactly.
Anymore, Exactly. But that's hilarious, man. But no, again, Bernard, I truly appreciate you taking the time out your busy schedule. If you don't mind, I would love to chop it up with you just for a couple seconds after this show. But again, how can folks continue to support, follow up with you? Please give us your socials and all that good stuff.
Guys, please go to bernardtaylorforcongress.org, bernardtaylorforcongress.org. You can go there to donate to my campaign. Every contribution is much, much, much appreciated. We are strictly grassroots campaign, so we are going up and trying to upset the machine. So we need all the dollars that we can get in order to get our message to as many people as possible. You can also sign up to Phone Bank. You can sign up to Canvas if you are here in the district and you want to help knock doors. The more people that we get to help with this campaign, again, the more people can hear our message and can see that there's a candidate here in Florida 21 that wants to fight for them. So follow me across all social media, Bernard Taylor for Congress. Whatever your favorite social media is, I'm there. So for all my boomers, I'm on Facebook. For y'all millennials, y'all can find me on Instagram. For Gen Z and the rest of y'all, I'm on TikTok for as long as it's still here. So you guys can always find me somewhere on the internet.
Well, look, I appreciate it, boss. Again, I want to chat with you just for a couple seconds. So again, I appreciate it. Don't go anywhere. My friends, I hope y'all enjoyed another great conversation here on the Arrington Gavin Show. I don't know about y'all, but I guess just when I have conversations with individuals like Bernard, man, it gets me fired up again for the midterms. And look, I'm not speaking because I'm not a Democrat, I'm not a Republican, I'm an independent. But one thing I do see, I'm advocating what's right and not what's wrong. And what we've been seeing lately is a lot of wrong and not a lot of right. All right. So look, y'all take care. Peace and blessing. Y'all know how to tune into the Arrington Gavin Show. I'll talk with y'all soon for another great combo. I'm out.
That's it for tonight on the Arrington Gavin Show. Thanks for tapping in and keeping the conversation alive. Don't forget, stay connected with us on all platforms. Follow at Arrington Gavin on Instagram, Blue Sky, and X, and subscribe to the official Substack for exclusive takes and deep dives you won't get anywhere else. We're here every weeknight, same time, same energy, same real talk. Until next time, stay bold, stay sharp, and stay true. That's what we do on the Arrington Gavin Show. Peace.